Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here and welcome to Enter the Dark Zone. And today we're talking about the Division 2's private beta. The beta runs this weekend, and for those of you diving in for the first time, you might want to know how to best spend your time or what sorts of things you should be doing to ensure you get the best possible experience. So in this video, I'll be going over 7 handy tips to help you get started in the Division 2's private beta. This video is sponsored by Ubisoft and is also made in partnership with my friends over at Outside Xbox as part of the Enter the Dark Zone campaign. Together, we'll be giving you opportunities to jump in and play this weekend. If you guys want to get involved in the Division 2's private beta and want to be in with a chance to win some prizes on top, then be sure to head over to the link in the description box down below and register. Now, kicking things off at number 1, obtaining your skills and your perks. When you jump into the beta for the first time, your first task will be to deal with some pesky hyenas that are causing trouble on the White House lawn. And by hyenas, I don't mean the carnivorous mammals in the Division 2, the hyenas are a new enemy faction. Either way, deal with them, and then shortly after you'll gain access to the White House, which is your new base of operations this time around. A rather fitting location, given that we're in Washington. Once you get access to the base, you can head inside, meet the commander, and then following that you're free to head out and explore, take on missions, side missions, events, all that good stuff. But before you do that, you'll want to get some skills. If you head downstairs, you'll find the Quartermaster. Here you can spend the skill unlock points and your SHD tech that you obtain by leveling up. In the beta, your available skills include the turret, the seeker mine, and the drone. Initially, you'll only have enough points to unlock 2, but as you level up, you can return and get more. Keep in mind, each skill also has 2 available mods to try out, so pick and choose these as you see fit. However, on top of that, you can also spend the SHD tech to unlock perks. These can range from things like allowing you to carry more grenades and armor kits, or unlocking attachments for your guns. But my recommendation to begin with would be to grab the weapon slot and the skill slot. With these unlocked, you'll be able to equip 2 weapons alongside your sidearm and 2 skills, so this is probably the best place to start. Moving on from there to point number 2, making the most of the settlements. In the Division 2, you can see settlements sort of like a forward base of operations. While you'll still return to the White House to unlock skills, perks, and craft items, you can use settlements to obtain side missions, recruit new members for your base operations, make donations to projects the civilians are working on, and ultimately help improve and upgrade it as you play. One of your first missions will have you visit the first settlement, and once you've helped get it back up and running, you can begin reaping the benefits. Completing missions and side missions will allow you to upgrade it, and upgrading it will see additional functionality added. You can see exactly what in the menus. You'll also be able to speak to select people to obtain more side missions. There are 5 additional side missions to do in the private beta, so if you want to do these, then this is where some of them will come from. Additionally, if you head into the bar, this is your social space. Here you can meet other players and recruit them to join you on your missions. So explore, speak to civilians, and help them wherever you can. Next up, in number 3, is of course the open world. Sure, you can complete missions and side missions, but beyond that, there's other stuff to do too. If you bring up your map, you can pinpoint local activities. Control points will see you defending an area and fighting off enemy factions to reclaim control over that zone. Successfully doing this will usually result in you gaining access to a pretty generous loot room, so if you want to get some more gear, these are for sure worth your time. You also want to keep an eye out for locked doors and gates. If you ever see locks like these, you can shoot them to gain access to locked areas, and those too can often lead to loot. So be sure to explore the world and do more than just your main missions. Moving on from there to number 4, gear, weapons, and loot. The Division 2, much like the first game, is of course a looter shooter. It's all about the loot. Enemies you kill will drop loot, missions you complete will result in loot drops, and every time you level up, you will earn field proficiency caches which can then be opened to give you more loot. You'll frequently want to check your new drops to see how they compare with your previous ones, since better gear will help you better tackle the challenges that lie ahead. However, outside of that, you also want to keep an eye on the brands on your gear. New in the Division 2 is the concept of brand sets. Similar to gear sets from the first game, equipping a certain number of pieces within a brand will activate additional bonuses. Behind each gear piece is a brand icon, so if you find a brand with bonuses you really like, be sure to keep an eye out for more pieces from the same brand so that you can then activate these in-game. Additionally, pay attention to your weapon talents too. The first 2 are pretty self-explanatory, but weapons in the Division 2 also have holstered talents now, so even when you're not using a weapon, it can still yield benefits for your build. Then, in number 5, are specializations. While the private beta will start you off early game, it will also give you a chance to experience a small slither of endgame. When you hit level 30 in the Division 2, you'll unlock specializations. Gone are these signature skills of old. Now we have specializations. You can see these as kind of like classes, and within these classes you have a signature weapon, a power weapon if you will. Plus, depending on your specialization choice, you'll also get access to some additional mods for your skills. You're free to change specializations in the full game, so you'll never be bound by just one choice, but it will pay to learn where each one excels so you can pick based on your chosen encounter. The Survivalist carries an explosive crossbow, the Demolitionist a grenade launcher, and the Sharpshooter a 50 cal sniper. So pick your weapon and have some fun. Then once you're decided on that front, in at number 6 is your chance to sample an endgame invaded mission. When you complete the campaign and you reach max level, the Black Tusks, an elite enemy faction, will descend upon DC, and they'll invade all the previously completed missions, allowing you to return and tackle them in all new and exciting ways. The Black Tusk are powerful, they're organised, and they have some pretty fancy tech too. Be sure to keep an eye out for the Boston Dynamic dogs. And of course, to round it all out, in at number 7, for those of you after your PvP fix, when you can rest easy knowing that Washington is a little bit safer after your efforts, then you can head into Dark Zone East or dive into the new Skirmish PvP mode and face off against other players. Keep in mind there are some new PvE activities in the Dark Zones too, so you can perform things like breaking open chests without keys, stealing loot that other players dropped on the ground, or even hacking terminals. So if taking out other players isn't really your bag, then there's still stuff to do. Either way, dive in, have a look around, and snag some more sweet loot. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the Endgame store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the Endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.